Okay, guys, so we need to talk about this Halo series because I was up for it, right? I was down, and then episode 3 came and they kind of lost me, to be honest with you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. I'm Robert Storm. As always, if you guys are finding me for the very first time, please smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys can stay up to date on all future content. So I was pretty much in for it with the first episode. I thought the first episode was really good. Second episode, they really deep dived on Master Chief, his history, his backstory, and this other female antagonist, which can pretty much operate Forerunner technology much like Chief can, and we're really going deep into this story. But by the third episode, they kind of lost me here. And the reason why they lost me was because it's been 3 episodes, and the Master Chief has worn his helmet for about 45 seconds. And a lot of people who don't play the game probably don't really care, but when you play the game and he wears that helmet all the time, it makes him this symbol. He's the symbol of the UNSC, and they really humanized him in these first 3 episodes. And again, I'm completely down for that. I have the games, I have the novels. I can go back and read that if I want to, or play the games. So I'm down for them introducing something new. But I feel like they're not really capturing the essence of what Master Chief is. And they kind of lost me toward the end of this episode where they completely did Cortana completely different than what they've done and anything else. In the video game and novels and stuff, Cortana is a microchip. Right? She's like a microchip, and Master Chief puts the microchip in the back of his helmet, and he's able to communicate with Cortana, much like Iron Man can communicate with Jarvis. And then Master Chief can take it out and plug it into terminals, and Cortana can communicate with the operating systems. He can hold it in his hand. Cortana will project from his hand. Well, they decided not to do that. Instead, what they did, Halsey cloned herself, liquefied her clone's brain into a little chip and installed the chip into Master Chief's skull. So they took this little chip and they inserted it into Master Chief's skull, so Cortana's always with Master Chief. And at the time, I'm sitting there thinking, like, why would they do that? Why would they do that and not just put her in a chip where he can insert her into computers, his helmet, anywhere that he needs her? And then I realized, it's because he never puts on his fucking helmet. So what's the purpose of having a chip that goes in the back of your helmet when they never put his fucking helmet on? Like, he's only had it on for 45 seconds in the last 2 episodes. It makes no damn sense. And then, to make matters worse, Cortana is full size. Like, Cortana's like a full size person, where in the video game she's handheld. Like, she's small, she's mini, she fits in the palm of your hand. So in Halo 4, when she is fully grown, it's special. It means something to these 2 characters, but you don't get that. And I feel like they're just completely ruining what makes Halo and Master Chief these characters in this lore, and it just drives me nuts, right? You completely changed everything that was Cortana and the relationship with Cortana and Master Chief. Like, these Spartans have holograms. Like, Master Chief isn't the only one with an AI. There's a lot of people with AIs, because the AIs act as, like Jarvis and the Iron Man, they act as like instructors, giving you information on planets and ships and alien races and stuff like that. So there's AIs everywhere. If you play games like Halo Wars and stuff, like, the ships have an AI on there. Master Chief had Cortana, but there was other AIs that existed. Cortana was a very special because she was a smart AI. She was not a dumb AI. There's 2 different types. There's dumb AIs and smart AIs. And the dumb AI is like smart in a specific field, like language or machinery or planets, where Cortana was a smart AI, which she was also knowledgeable in everything, but was also able to learn and communicate and really be like a replication of Halsey. And they completely just butchered that, right? Instead of making her this AI with a microchip so Master Chief can, have her in the palm of his hand or put her in a ship's database or something. No, they just insert in the back of his head, and like, oh yeah, we can just project her anywhere now because it's in the back of his head. And I was like, why would you do that? And then it's like, because they want to have him with his helmet off. And yes, there is no actual plot reason why he needs the helmet off. And yes, in the Halo Reach animated movie and in the novels and in the comics, he does have his helmet off. But there's a difference to taking his helmet off and just having that thing off for like 2-3 episodes where he only puts it on for 45 minutes of the, like 45 seconds really out of 2 episodes. Then you have this female who's working with the Covenant, and she has some kind of backstory where she's able to somehow control Forerunner technology, much like Master Chief, and like so she's sort of like the opposite ends of what Master Chief is. Where Master Chief is able to do it for the UNSC, she's able to do it for the Covenant. Now she's going to try to find Master Chief. You have this Asian chick with a completely horrible hairstyle. Like, this thing looks awful. She's a main character for some reason. She has no purpose. And it bothers me. And the one thing that really bothers me is they make everyone that's a human look like trash. Like they're the worst people of all time. Like, the UNSC sit there, the UNSC, like they tell Master Chief to murder a child. You have a doctor trying to like molest and kiss a paralyzed clone of Halsey. You have characters that are trying to assassinate other human characters, try to overrun and all. Like, it's so weird, right? Yes, there's an inner and outer colony war going on, but when the Covenant attack, they kind of merge together to fight this bigger threat. But in this one, it's just like all the human characters just don't care about anything. Like, they're all dirty, backstabbing people. Halsey comes off as this like evil scientist, like, hoo ha ha, I control the Master Chief now. Cortana, spy on him. Give me all the dirty details. We will control John 117. And then you have her daughter, Miranda Keyes, going behind her back trying to do stuff. And then this creepy doctor that works with Halsey has like a crush and try to, like, it's so weird. And when you look at it, it just doesn't feel like Halo. The last couple episodes didn't feel like Halo. And this episode really, really let me down. Really, really let me down. But the most important thing is we got to see Master Chief's ass for some reason. Dude won't wear a helmet, but now the dude doesn't wear clothes either. At the end of this episode, he is buck booty naked, and for some reason, the show creators thought it was a good idea to show us Master Chief's ass. That's right, guys. Something that we all wanted to see. Master Chief's ass right there, front and display. Master Cheeks, man, he's here. Master Cheeks. Like, what's going on with this show? I mean, there's 9 episodes. We still got 6 episodes left. I'm going to keep watching. Hopefully it gets better. But right now, I went from a high note to a very low note for this series. And hopefully it ends up getting better. Just right now, no bueno. Like, I'm not liking it at all. I just feel like they're getting away from what makes Halo Halo. They introduce characters that have nothing to do with the lore. They're in there just for certain purposes. You guys know what purposes I'm talking about. They're in there because of Hollywood agendas. We need to have, women in there. We need to have people of minority in there. That's the only reason why these characters are in there in the roles that they are. The Halo series is very straightforward. War between aliens, go fight, boom. Yes, it's deeper on a complex level that you can break down, but they're trying to like do something that isn't Halo in this, and the fact that they're doing it just drives me nuts. And they're not really paying tribute to Master Chief. And then you look at something like the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, which pays so much respect to the source material. You're like, what are they doing with this series? But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it, guys. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Have you seen Halo Episode 3? Tell me in the comment box below, how do you feel about it? And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.